Buckle up, Dorothy, because Kansas is going bye-bye.
Whoa. Have you ever had a dream, Neo, that you were so sure was real? What if you were unable to wake from that dream? How would you know the difference between the dream world and the real world? What is happening to me?
The answer is out there, Neo. It's the question that drives us.
What is the Matrix? The Matrix is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. What truth?
They're watching you, Neo.
Human beings are a disease. You are a cancer of this planet. And we are the cure. Get me the hell out of here! Welcome to the real world.
So you're here to save the world.
So what do you need? Guns. Lots of guns.
No one has ever done anything like this.
That's why it's going to work.
Buckle your seatbelt, Dorothy. Because Kansas is going bye-bye.
Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself.
Wow. It's still good. It's still good.
And ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Davey A.
Hello, everyone. Hello. How are you all doing? Good?
I'm all right. I suppose you have many questions, whether to take a blue pill or a red pill, or why I'm dressed like this.
I mean, in terms of pills, I don't take any of that muck. And neither should you if you knew what was good for you.
Well, if you want to get out the Matrix, yeah. But I'm basically I want to get out the Matrix, but at the same time, I like a bit of steak now and again, don't you?
Who doesn't? Who doesn't love a prime steak?
Especially when it's juicy and delicious.
Oh.
Anyway, let me take this off now. It's boiling hot. So, how are you, sir? I've been looking forward to this, you know.
Yeah, me too. It's always nice to chat about a topic that we're both fans of because it's a very popular subject, especially now that the fourth installment's imminent. You know, it makes the original seem even more worth seeing.
I know, and everyone, I've just watched it today. So as of recording this, I only watched it about 2 hours ago. So if I don't remember stuff from the movie, I'm thick. But and you've watched it recently, haven't you?
I have, yeah.
Because literally, after the trailer for the Resurrections, I needed to see the trilogy again. So this is why we're here. We're going to be doing 1, 2, and 3, aren't we?
Oh yes, it's a great trilogy. Well, soon to be a quadrilogy, and a series of movies that I often return to, especially when I'm having a sci-fi binge.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, and it's not just sci-fi for me. It's the revelations behind what they're saying and the little Easter eggs in the footage, which again I noticed again today. I love seeing those little things in the background and that. So before we go into it, how was your first experience watching The Matrix? What did you think of it when you first saw it? Did you see it in the cinema? Remind me.
I must admit, I didn't see it in the cinema. The first time I saw it was when I went to general release DVD and so on. But was blown away, absolutely blown away. I must have watched it in that first sort of year of owning it, maybe 100 or so times. It doesn't seem like a lot if you're a massive fan of something, but every other week, every other day nearly, I was I was considering watching Matrix. It's such an iconic movie that, like I say, I often return to it. Great characters, great storylines, great plots, great visuals.
It's like a fine wine. It sort of gets better with age. No matter what the technology, because it's like the phones and stuff like that. Literally, when you got that FedEx, and it came out, and it's like click. It looks naff, the phone, but it's so cool at the same time. And you're like,
it kind of it's like when you get your Amazon deliveries these days in the cardboard with the little perforated edge that you tear off.
Yes.
So, they were telling the future. I don't think Amazon was a thing back in '99. I don't believe it was anyway.
Well, it was FedEx in the movie, but Amazon just made books, I think. They were just a small book place, if I remember. But now look at them. They're everywhere.
Yeah, everything's kind of owned or used by Amazon these days. So, yeah, they're a very big company.
Yeah, well, big, too big, if you ask me. Because, with great power comes great responsibility.
Yes, I'll drink to that.
And they don't have webbed feet, so So what we're going to do, because this is the first time I've done this actually, properly gone into it, pre-recorded, and going to throw all the kitchen sink at it and make it a good presentation, because the Matrix Resurrection. I've only had one, I promise. The Matrix Resurrections was quite a popular trailer, and I've got to congratulate you.
Me? What have I done?
Through gritted teeth. Because literally, the trailer reaction we did way better than mine in terms of viewership.
I mean, what can I say? I don't know. I'm very thankful to those out there who have watched both versions of your trailer, your video, I should say, because it was your video. I just put my spin on it, but I'm obviously grateful. Yeah, a bit of polish. Yeah, just to tweak it a bit. In no way whatsoever did I make it my own. It's not my video. Not one point did I say this was my video and he happens to be on it. No, it's all your work. I just put my spin on it. But it's like you say, there's been some amazing traction with it. Lots of views. I think we're touching between the pair of us maybe 500 views, possibly more.
Do you mean? I see what you mean. Let me just.
Total.
There's a guy who messaged me. Have you seen this message? This comment?
Probably not.
It was on my side. He came over from yours to mine and subscribed to me, and he said to me he found me on it. Here we are, Kenneth Roberts.
Oh, Kenny.
Yeah.
Big shout to Kenny. How's it going, Kenny? All right.
Hey, Kenny. Who are you? Literally, he said to me, he come over from your channel and subbed a few days ago, and he congratulated me on 100 subscribers, and I was like, "Oh, isn't that great?"
Yeah. Well, don't forget 100 subscribers. I think I'm on 18. Not that it's a race or a competition here, but I'll take it. 18 is better than 0.
It's not a race, but I'm beating you. You cunt. Oh, by the way, if you're new to this channel, maybe you can cut that out if you're on your side, Davey. But on my side, don't give too shiny shites. This is if you're offended by a language, this isn't the stream for you. I'm a very naughty boy.
This is true, everyone. I can vouch for this. He is a very naughty boy.
Yeah. When I came to your shop that time and tried to hug you, and you sort of went out the back and didn't come back, did you?
No, I ran away. I don't do well with hugs.
One day I'll have him.
Charming.
Oh God. Anyway, so literally what we're going to do is we're going to show a couple of clips here and there of key iconic moments, stuff that we stuck out to us. So let's talk about the opening scene first with Trinity. So opening scene. So we've got a little. So what were your thoughts when you first saw this bit?
When we were introduced to Trinity as one little girl, I was expecting a little girl. I wasn't expecting Carrie-Anne Moss clad in leather, hacking away at the computer. It was a bit of a misrepresentation, I think the term might be.
Yes. What's the word? A switcheroo.
Switcheroo. Yeah. And in come the feds. This is a bit like when the feds turned up on Die Hard.
Yeah. I watched this before, and as soon as you see Hugo Weaving, you feel it inside, the terror, because he's still scary, isn't he?
He's been an amazing actor in a majority of his movies, in fact, all of his movies. But in these kind of roles, he does really portray like menacing, evil kind of bad guys really well.
Yes, it's in the eyes again. I'm an eye actor. I love seeing. We always later on saying, "I hate this planet." He's literally so good at that.
No, Lieutenant, your men are already dead. See, that's what I mean. What a great line. What a great line.
I know.
Butt shot. Uh-oh. Oh, that looks like a head.
I know.
I mean, look at that. What a great use of bullet time cameras.
I know. And we didn't know what the fuck was going on.
No. I love this bit.
I know, so do I, because
when she takes the guy out now.
You're sort of programmed just to trust the authorities and think, exactly. Oh damn, this is some kick-ass woman who's got superpowers, who's killing people. God damn it, Morpheus.
Love it.
Another fine mess you got me into.
Why, yeah, Yoda.
See, again, there's terror there. And you're sort of on her side, even though you think she's a terrorist.
Yeah, exactly. It's so early days to kind of assume that, you know, the agents are the bad guys and Trinity's a good guy. For all we know, they're doing a good job and she's a criminal. We just don't know at this early stage. If you don't have any background knowledge, you're literally watching someone who's allegedly like a computer hacker being chased by the cops.
And that's why it's such a good opening scene, because it sets all the seeds up for later on without telling you anything. It intrigues you. You're running a bit slow, Trinity. Is it?
The agents are after you. Get going.
Get a move on, love. See, every single shot that they use is perfect.
And it's just that bit there. You're like, what? She's just jumped a ridiculous distance. Wow.
And obviously, again, you don't know what the hell's going on, because he's supposed to be on the side of law and order. And he's able to do the same as her. So what the fuck's going on?
And straight away when you see that he opened fire, without even like saying stop, overshoot kind of thing, you knew.
Yeah. And now we've got biscuits. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? More chocolate.
Oh my god. Subliminal messaging. Chocolates.
So obviously, going to leave the clips for now because it's going to drive me head in. So we've had the opening scene. We've got Trinity presenting like the traditional terrorist. She's like kicking the hell out of law and order. She's unable to be killed, and she's what the hell's going on? And then we lead on to we hear that the agents have got a name called Neo. Is that what they say in the movie? I should know this. I just watched it. They don't say Mr. Anderson. I'm sure they don't. They say his name is Neo.
We got something like we've got the name or something. The name is Neo.
Yeah, because they have an informant.
Yeah.
Informant, which is another hint to later on, isn't it?
Yeah, the informant is real.
Yeah, which was good. And then we switched to Mr. Anderson, aka Keanu Reeves, legend, who is God, I look at him now and I think, I wish I had his his work ethic when it comes to what he chooses and what he does with his life, because he's so down to earth, isn't he?
He is. He's very like you say, down to earth. He seems like a very easy to approach guy who's not too kind of egotistical. Like he's obviously a very successful actor, but I don't think it's gotten to his head. No, he just seems very grounded in what he does. So
yeah, I agree. And obviously the roles he chooses. I mean, he's one of the facts that always creeps up every time I do a Matrix is that Will Smith could have been Neo.
Yeah,
and then you think about it and you go, no, Will Smith is someone who's wisecracks, isn't he? And I can't see him doing this sort of stripped back, like really. I mean, what are your thoughts on it?
I mean, it's hard to picture a different actor in the role when you've seen like Keanu Reeves making that role his own. You couldn't imagine Neo being portrayed by someone else. But having said that, with all these new sort of multiverse things that a lot of moviegoers are going down now, there could be an alternative version. You've just got to picture it. Yeah, he could be a wisecracking Neo who doesn't need to dodge bullets because he tells crazy comedy or, moonwalks away from them. We just don't know.
Yeah,
but
it could be possible. Like the bullet coming towards him. Oh, hell no. Knocks it out
flies away. Uncle Phil turns up and starts throwing agents off the boat and like Jazzy Jeff gets launched out the house. I think it could work.
And this is the story all about whoa. But it's to me, right, it was one of those moments where if he had got it, the movie would have changed in tone. I think it would have been more like a Men in Black sort of styly. But then again, the Wachowskis would have kept that in mind, I think, because they've got a very specific mindset when it comes to making the film.
Yeah, I agree.
Sorry, I'm mesmerized by my bottle disappearing.
It's just going out into the ether.
I know. I mean, this green screen, right? Ladies and gentlemen, if you've got a green screen, they're more trouble than they're worth. It's took me all fucking day to do this. I could have been doing better things. But yeah, by the way, I got to thank someone in particular for this, Jenny, because I've just watched it in Blu-ray, the movie, and it's so sexy in Blu-ray. Have you got it in Blu-ray?
Oh yes, I've got the whole trilogy in Blu-ray. It's pride of place in my collection.
Oh, it's so beautiful in Blu-ray. I hadn't seen it. I've only got the old DVD from years ago.
Oh yes.
So it doesn't look quite crisp, but then you put this one on, it's like, oh, I can see the skyline in crystal clear detail. So yeah, we've got Neo. He's asleep at the computer, a bit like me when I'm editing my videos now, like that, and literally he's getting woken up by a code. So that's Trinity, isn't it?
Yes.
And literally she's saying that the Matrix. Why did he always talk in code?
It's digital information. It's based in a computer system. It seems logical that he would talk in code.
Well, not literal code. I mean, like the Matrix has you.
Because it has.
And then it just go into it. Just go into a bit more details. Like when they meet at the club, and they're like, not the conga. And literally,
no.
Oh no, that bit of work. Hello, Trinity. Come on, join in. but literally, but basically,
the Matrix has got you, Neil.
Oh no, I split my leather pants.
I think it could work.
It could do, but she's not wearing it, is she? If she is, I can't see her because when she's got that dress on her, you can't see what she's got on in the club.
True.
But anyway, she's talking to him like she goes up to him and whispers in his ear, like I don't know how in the club. He's like whispering to it. He's like, "You'll find him, and then when you do, you'll ask a question, and then the question is not the question. The question is not what you think it is, and then Morpheus will say you're wrong because you should be asking this question." And it sort of goes on like that, and that gets worse in the second one.
Oh,
it's like just get to the point.
Stop taking the scenic route. Just get there.
Yes. And obviously, as Neo suggested to the guy at the door, I've got work in the morning, and and literally woke up late, and then he's in the office getting bollocked, isn't he?
Yeah, like a lot of workers who stay up late playing computer games and whatnot.
In a very Agent Smith sort of way, wasn't it? No, you're going to make a choice, Mr. Anderson. If you and as I told you that time, didn't I, about the subsuds? And
he did.
I watched it today, and literally it was like, and it's only a split second, but it's like there. Yeah, everything you need to know about the Matrix is right in that subsud. It's so good. I don't want to faff around with the footage anymore, but it's something that stuck out to me when I first saw it, and I love those little details. And the same with the rain in the car later on. Is there anything that you noticed first time round, or has it been repeat?
I think the first watched it through and was just scratching my head for a good few days, thinking, "What have I just watched?"
Really?
Yeah, because a lot of visuals that mess with your mind. You know, the whole like, is it the real world? Is it the Matrix? Is real life in the real world? Is it the Matrix? You start questioning things. Is that real? I don't know. And for days, I was like, what? I mean, what? What? So I've obviously had to go back and rewatch them, like you say, things like the Matrix code in the soapsuds and Hidden in the Rain and the green tinge they use to differentiate between whether you're in the real world or the Matrix.
Yeah.
It's just, it's subtly planted, like the Easter eggs you find in a lot of films these days, which are nods to other things or references to popular culture, that kind of thing. It takes multiple watches of film like the Matrix. You've got to see it a good few times to kind of take it all in and see if you've missed something, certain visuals, certain bits of dialogue.
But that's geek culture, isn't it? Because geek culture started to really take off in the early 2000s, and everything then had to be sort of intertwined with some sort of meaning, and then obviously Easter eggs, and then science fiction became mainstream. I think the Matrix sort of started that ball rolling, really, when you think about how the mainstream consciousness sort of took on that. I know Star Wars started it off in the 70s, but when it comes to intricate science fiction ideas like the Matrix, it was the first proper one, if I can remember right, that sort of took it on and it was popular.
I think, well, we know it's a groundbreaking movie. Certainly the film effects that we use, like bullet time, was used really mainstream in that film and was taken on to be used quite a lot in other films. But the fact that the actors on screen, certainly for a majority of the scenes, were the actors. It wasn't stunt doubles. It wasn't replacement actors.
Yeah,
the majority of the scenes, it was them doing the martial arts moves. It was them doing the high flying acrobatics, jumping off buildings and whatnot. It really shows the dedication to those actors that they could put their body through it. They were like, like Tom Cruise nowadays. He does every stunt himself. He's the guy running with the perfectly straight arms across the streets and everything.
Yeah,
it's nice to see that you don't need a stunt double to make it look believable.
Yeah, well, the thing with the Matrix is that it was painstaking to not do, because it's choreographed, but it's also dangerous stuff they were doing.
So.
I was it Carrie-Anne Moss who hurt herself, or was it Lawrence Fishburne? I know one of them really hurt themselves during film and had to take time out.
Well, funny enough, I'd actually looked this up just a few days ago, so I didn't know this, but prior to the filming of The Matrix, Keanu Reeves himself had cervical spinal surgery. Forcing him to wear a neck brace throughout the training of the movie. So he was in an immense amount of pain and still went through it to make it look believable. I think it works. It looks phenomenal.
So good. And I was watching the scene. I know I'm skipping ahead slightly, but I was watching the scene with Neo and Morpheus are sparring off for the first time. And literally, I was looking to see if there's any stunt doubles in the shot, but there wasn't. Literally, the camera's spinning around them as they're going, and there's no let up, and it's at a normal speed. It's not slow. It's not fast. Made faster. Or it's them literally doing those moves, perfectly positioned and perfectly timed for that shot, and that takes a lot of energy.
It does. And again, dedication to their mental prowess. The fact that they were so focused that they want to make it them on screen. Any actor could go, right, okay, so for this scene, can you get that guy who looks just like me and have him get punched by a brick wall or whatever it might be? No, I'm going to do it. I'm going to stand there and take the beatings and portray this character in a believable way, and it shows. Yeah,
because I know it's uncomfortable sometimes when you watch Morpheus getting the shit beaten out of him by Smith later on. He hits a toilet or whatever in his head. And it's like, it's squeamish, isn't it? Because the pain. I know. Well, obviously the body makes it real, doesn't it? So I know my things. So we're obviously Neo trying to get out of the building because we're in work now, and he's what is he doing? What's his job? He's a software.
He's what is he? He's like a software programmer, a computer programmer,
and
a respectable software company.
I know.
Yeah,
and literally he nicks the components or nicks some sort of software architecture to sell on the black market, doesn't he? That's his neo hacker life. And literally, he's sat in a booth, not doing fuck all. He's like that.
I couldn't imagine. Office mentality, I just couldn't do it. I know nowadays a lot of people have the luxury of working from home with all the restrictions and whatnot, but to be stuck in a cubicle with no natural light coming through, and I couldn't.
It's funny though, because when we were watching it, my missus was sat in the room with me. Hi, Vanessa. And literally, she said to me, "I wouldn't mind having that." I went, "You what?" That she said was because it's your own space. I went, the whole point in that shot is to say, look how shit this is. You're boxed in.
Exactly.
You know, and he's sat there.
You want to escape.
Exactly. And this is what I think about the new one. Is that he's sat in a bath and he's got a duck on his head and he looks like life's really fucking boring for him, and he's looking for an answer. And it's the same in this one. He's literally staring into space, going, "What the fuck is this?" You know, I'm destined for something, and I think that's a life lesson for everyone, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
And then obviously Morpheus gives him that snazzy new phone, like.
Oh yes, what an amazing phone!
And he drops it immediately, flings it off. He doesn't fling it, but he's on the side of the building, going, "No way, this is crazy!" And he drops the phone on someone's head, and then gets that interrogation scene where we see Hugo Weaving do that thing you like, which is like he does that. We're willing to give you a fresh start, and he takes off his glasses. Well, he does that, doesn't he? He goes, "We're going to give you a fresh start," and then suddenly, literally, "I'm going to give you the finger," and then you give me, and he goes, "You disappoint me," and he puts him back on. I love that. I love that because what he's trying, that's a computer program trying to relate to humans in an artificial way.
Do you know, it puts me in mind of there's a show called CSI, which I'm sure a lot of people are aware of, and there was a spin-off based in Miami, and the head detective, the boss, was a character called Horatio Caine, and he wore shades a lot, but the way he delivered his lines was very much a bit like Smith, where he'd be saying, like, you know, we'll have to go and investigate this murder, but we'll have to do it quickly. Right. And he put these glasses on really slowly. Like, he delivers them with shades every time, and he would take them off when he's talking to somebody.
So when would he take them off? Would he take them off when he's when he's like shocked or to investigate, and he'll put them back on and walk away?
Yeah, but he's always talking to you, or to the people in the scene, with like his back to them. He'd be sort of like on his side like that, going, "So, there's been a crime, has there?" And he'd put the shades on, and he'd swing by. But it's just that putting on and saying a one-liner and then putting them back on again and walking away. Yeah, Smith all over. Smith all over.
Yeah, because again, this is the thing, because we asked this in your podcast, Davey A, I'll give that 10 minutes, that what is it with the shades? Because there seems to be a statement behind them, and I've never noticed, because I noticed that before on the rewatch, that Keanu Reeves, Neo, he's walking out in the Matrix to see the Oracle, and he's the only one not wearing glasses. And it's only until the end he puts them on.
I don't know. I think the shades obviously look cool. They do look cool, and especially the ones in the Matrix, because they were designed specifically for each actor's head shape. So like the ones that Neo or Keanu Reeves wore, were only specific to his face size. Another actor couldn't wear them because they were designed to mold around his eye shape and so on.
Well, so I don't think they fit as well as the one in the Matrix Reloaded. The ones in the Matrix Reloaded are much better.
But like I say, it's a statement piece. Shades have always looked cool. Any movie, any show.
But why leave it till the end? Why leave it till the end then? Because obviously he's freed his mind up to that point. So maybe it's a statement to say, "I'm fully engaged in this fight." I don't know.
Possibly. Maybe it's like putting on a costume. You put the shades on, you complete the look. Yeah. Off you go.
Obviously, I look good in shades. I look good in hat. That's just me. If my digital self, right, because when he eventually gets out and he has this digital self and it looks like him outside.
Yes.
We said this, didn't we, in the podcast? We did. What would I look like? Would I be clean shaven? Because obviously I don't want to have a beard all the time. It's itchy. Yeah. Oh.
Well, it's what you can imagine, because they say it's a mental projection of your digital self. So it's whatever you can imagine yourself to look like, what you aspire to be in an alternate world. So it's like when you make an avatar on a game, when you make a game character. Some games you make the character look like yourself. So you give it, a beard, you give it spiky hair, you give it blue eyes, whatever it might be.
I won't look like me.
Well, no, I'd get some kind of Mr. Blobby lookalike or something. I don't know.
I can just imagine, right? He sticks that thing in his head, like he goes and then literally he goes, "This is the construct." Like we're in the construct right now, and literally, Morpheus turned on and goes, "Neo, what the fuck?" And literally, I'd be like fully tanned, big shoulders, six pack, massive dong, and hair down to here, going. You know what I mean? I wouldn't look like me.
I don't know.
It's always something.
I think the reason why they all look like each other, that's probably just because that's what your mind says you look like. So that's how you would see yourself in the Matrix. Maybe. I don't know if it's a thought thing. Maybe if you think really hard, you can imagine yourself as a better looking avatar than your real life self. So yeah, the long hair, the muscles.
Well, maybe the new one will delve into that, because the transforming nature of the way they want to paint the world.
Yeah,
it's going to be like you can be in anybody, so that transformation might happen. You never know. They might go, "Oh, I fancy myself as a girl in this next incarnation." That's what I'm thinking. So where are we up to now? Oh yeah, they haven't put that thing in his belly button yet.
No. So after Smith has said, "What's the point of a phone call if you're unable to speak?" and they close his mouth shut with that really cool scene. Out comes the tracking device in the form of a very sadistic looking little bug.
Yeah,
which goes inside his belly button.
Yeah, I still haven't looked up that. I'm too afraid to. Is there a hole in the belly button?
Well, when you think about it, we all have these belly buttons, and I know they're all part of the remnants of having an umbilical cord in the womb. But other than that, function does it actually do? You can't take stuff out of it. You can't put stuff in it. So can it be accessed in some sort of way? I don't know.
Well, yeah, it's something that I don't want to Google just in case anything comes up, and I can't.
I'll let the watchers do that for themselves. The subscribers, you can do your own research on that one, everyone.
Let us know your results if you're not suicidal, right? But but it's gone in. It's settled, and he wakes up, doesn't he? And you
just thinking it's all a big nightmare.
Yeah, if you let him believe that it's what the fuck, and then Morpheus is like, "Hello again. Meet me in the tunnel with no drainage." And literally it's pissing down.
In the tunnel with no drainage. Wow.
How did Neo get there without getting wet? That's what I think. But yeah.
Matrix rain is dry rain.
It's a bit parched in here. Actually, I'm going to have to get a beer in a minute once we finish this bit. But literally, he gets in the car. And that woman's very antagonistic, isn't she? The woman in the front seat.
Oh, what's her name?
Not Cypher Dozer.
Can we cut this bit out while we're Googling?
No. Oh, yeah, go on then. Actually, Google it right now. I'm going to get a beer. Hang on.
I think it's Switch. I'm just going to double check now.
Oh, that sounds familiar, actually.
It's the lady with the blonde hair, isn't it? But I think it's Switch. Let's just check for you now.
Switch Dozer Tank.
Doesn't show it on my
mouse.
My Google list here. That's weird. Yeah, Switch. Yeah, it's Switch. Got it.
So
yeah,
let's say that's a revelation. So the lady is called Switch, isn't she?
Yes.
that just occurred to me randomly.
Just randomly, yes.
I literally went. Oh, I'm glitching now. Look at that.
Yeah, she's one of the few characters that doesn't conform to the we must all wear black leather / PVC stuff. She's clad in white spiky hair, white shades, white outfit. I noticed that. What the fuck? What? Why? Why is she doing that for? I mean, she was very kind of rebellious, wasn't she? She was straight to the core of the scenario. There was none like, the Matrix could be weird. It might not be. It's just listen. This is the situation. Deal with it. Yeah, either straight down the middle or the highway. Yeah, exactly. And he immediately goes, "Fuck this! I'm not taking this shit." And he opens the door, and Trinity's like, "You've been down that road.
you know where that leads, and you're like, yeah, Netto. I don't know.
Plus, I haven't got a brolly, and it is wet out there.
Yeah, and you maybe stand out there. I'm going to catch me cold. So to get the thing out, and we've said before the big joke of why didn't he go up the arse?
Yes.
I mean, obviously it's an easier route, but it's not very nice to watch at the cinema in HD.
No.
So
wouldn't have worked. Keanu with his pants down while they shove a probe up his butt.
Having said that, don't Google gay porn. It's probably out there somewhere. You're gonna lose it. You're gonna lose it. No, I'm not. But basically, we're finally at again a building without any drainage. It's all pouring. Yes. It looks nice though, and you go into this real shithole. You could go anywhere in the Matrix, and you go to the shithole. I'm assuming there's a reason for it.
It's got to be. Well, it's like the outskirts of town, the dodgy part of the city. It's probably a place where they haven't got any decent 4G signal, so it's a very low access signal.
Go on.
So the Matrix can't get to them. The agents can't get them because there's no decent reception. So
yeah, as soon as they get to the building, they disappear. Like no, and they go. Exactly. But yeah, and then Morpheus is doing that cool thing that he does, and this is what I love about Morpheus. These chairs are there in the background.
Yes.
And literally he's doing this thing where he has his hands down his back like that. See, I can't do it. Cool.
I can. I used to walk around quite a lot like Morpheus with the whole like arms behind my back thing and just pace up and down like a big fan. I found it very kind of regal. It would make me kind of walk prim and proper with these arms behind my back.
I look like I'm being arrested.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
It doesn't look good for me. I mean, I can't stand up if I try and do it now. I like a duck, like that's not a duck, that's a chicken. But
it is.
Obviously, they sit down, they have a little chat, and basically he tells him nothing. Basically, so literally he does this, and he goes, "What you can't explain," and all this lot, and he's like, "It's blind you from the truth," and it's like, "Tell us," and I was like, "I can't tell you. Yeah, I must show you." It's like, really, just tell me. I've got a cracker bread, by the way.
That's amazing. I love the fact that when he says, like, when he doesn't believe in fate, and he says, "Why?" Because I don't like to believe that I'm not in control of my own destiny. And straight to Morpheus is like, I know exactly what you mean. It's what originally got him to lead the Matrix, because he knew things around him wasn't at his control.
Is that true? Yeah.
He says he doesn't like the idea that he's not in control of his own destiny.
No, not Neo. I mean, Morpheus. Is that why he left the Matrix? I don't know.
I reckon so. Obviously, the same sort of things that. Well, this is obviously come from my opinion. What Neo experienced, he could tell something wasn't quite right with the world. There were things that didn't seem real, and made him question things. So naturally, he's discovered it, just like Neo did. And I think in the new trailer for the new movie, they do have a little kind of young Morpheus kind of imagery where similar sort of things go through, like touching the mirror and it's still on his finger kind of thing, like a liquid stuff. I think they may kind of briefly touch on Morpheus's tale from when he was younger.
Yeah, it looks that way. It looks that way because he looks shocked. So. He looks shocked to see the difference in like the morphine and that. So there must be a flashback somewhere.
It's got to be. Makes sense.
And obviously the whole thing of, I think everyone who's got to that point with Morpheus, with the blue pill, red pill, has had that thought in the head of the system seems to be in control of every facet of my life. And I don't like the idea of control, and you rebel against it.
Yeah.
And then you take the red pill.
And then away you go. And then you get woken up in a world where there's slime everywhere and you've got pipes coming out the back of your head and out your body. I'd be like, plug me back in quick. I can't take this.
Well, it's like we said it as well on your podcast. Wouldn't it have been efficient for the machines just to go cut the heads off?
Yeah, quite possibly.
Because obviously they're waste, aren't they?
Yeah.
So literally, if they're woken up, they're going to flush them out the hole to die, basically, because he's got no muscles. He's like that. And literally, it wouldn't have been more efficient for them to liquefy him. Yeah,
it would make sense. What I didn't get though, because obviously he's not used his physical body when he comes out, when he wakes up in the real world, and yet he's got that tone of someone that's actually quite well built, and yet when he does get found by Morpheus and the Nebuchadnezzar, which I love the name of that ship, by the way.
It's a great name.
They start giving him all the acupuncture needles because he's got atrophy, so his muscles haven't been trained to work. So how's he got that body when he hasn't done any kind of work with it?
Well, your body, I think they've tried to make him look as skinny as they possibly can.
Yeah, obviously it's hard when you're already built for the role, so you've got to do scenes when it's prior to what your current condition is. So yeah, it
depends which way they filmed it. If they film the scenes with him with hair, or did they film it? Which way did they film it? I mean, I tended to think maybe it was a wig, but it looks too good to be a wig, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Well, timescales they could have done, like you say, the bald scenes afterwards, and just did the closing shots as the early shots. Movie making's a terrible business. Not a terrible business. It's not a. It's not filmed the way you see it on screen. They do, endings first and middles at last, and so on and so on, and patch it all together as they want it. So,
and this is why acting's a lifelong. You have to keep fucking learning.
Yes.
So I read a quote before from an actor saying that actors, it's not just something you dabble with. It's something that it's like. Oh fuck it! I forgot the quote now, but it's like you never stop practicing in the art form. It's something you have to keep your hand in. You have to keep touching and because if you don't, you lose it.
Sounds like an interesting quote. You've got to keep your hand in and you've got to keep touching. Really?
I can't remember the quote now. I wish I could because it would have been a nice anecdote. But swiftly moving on.
Well, to carry on.
This was your fault. You're the one who made up muckiness.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody.
Yeah, apologise to the great people of.
I just did. Don't milk it, okay?
You're doing it again. So they flushed him out of the big tube, which is like being born again, like the vagina. Out. And then literally, they acupuncture him. They show him the Nebuchadnezzar and. Introduce him to all the what the names of computers because APOC.
APOC, Switch, Tank,
Switch, Dozer,
Cipher, obviously
Trinity, Mouse.
Did we mention Tank?
Yeah, I think I mentioned it, but they're all like sort of symbols for like keyboards and computers, aren't they?
Yeah. All very code name-ish, like you would expect them to be. Well, I would have thought in the real world, hello, this is Steve, this is Eddie, this is Bob, that's Percy over there.
Wouldn't have had the same ring to it, would it? I mean,
hello, Thomas. My name's Edwards. Oh, I thought you were called Morpheus. Yeah, but in the real world, I'm called Edwards.
This is Microsoft. This is Windows, and this is Vista.
This is what I mean, though, because we don't talk to XP. He's always left in the corner.
Yeah, he's over there.
He's the only person in the film who is referenced by his human name and his code name. Everyone else has got their code name, their Matrix code name, Trinity, Morpheus, and so on. He's the only character who's Thomas Anderson and Neo. And I often wondered, why is that they didn't have any real names in the real world? It was all, I know it's set in a far distant future, although it's perceived that it's in, the early 21st century, the Matrix, it's much more farther into the future. So a lot of futuristic films, they don't have normal names. Look at Blargon over there. He's talking to Google and Ceylon and other random sci-fi names. Long ago has it been since it's been, Bob, Steve, Eddie, and Percy going out on a night out. Now it's all Clargon and Vlogon 6 having a blue milk. No. I didn't get it. I didn't get why they didn't have real names.
It's probably because in that day and age, post-apocalyptic, easy for me to say, post-apocalyptic, they live two different lives, like Neo did in Matrix, and it becomes easier just to condense it and go you're Microsoft today, and it just continues because what's the point? You might as well live by what you escaped by, your hacker name,
Sense. Yeah.
So we've done the training program because the training program is where the coolest scene is, where literally there's a bit of humor there, there's a bit of tension because Morpheus wants the best for Neo. He wants him, go, just hit me, and it's and that thing where he goes, how did I beat you? And I use that with my son all the time when I'm playing a game with him, and literally I was like, Why did I beat you? Shut up, Dad.
It's that revelation though when he says, "You think that's air you're breathing now?"
Exactly.
And he just turns up and goes,
He
"That's it."
He does that little guy.
And then suddenly he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm not breathing air, so I can just keep going."
This is again, it's that thing. I think the good thing about this movie is that the pacing is so perfect with the audience, because by the time you get to that revelation, you've accepted, oh shit,
Yeah.
this is a simulation. So that means you can accept that you can go and program stuff in your head. It's just the world building in this. It's the best I've seen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It doesn't insult the audience into thinking, oh, they might not get that bit. Let's dumb it down a little bit. You know, it's really good.
It is, and again, the sequences. It's not just the fact that there's amazingly choreographed and well acted kung fu scenes in there. It's it's the visuals. It's the way it's portrayed as a post-apocalyptic world. I said it the first time, no problems at all there. Just saying. I didn't slay my words there. Post-apocalyptic. It's hard not to say, isn't it?
Oh, now you say it.
When you see the aftermath of what we've done to the planet, we've scorched the sky. It's got to be a reference to the fact that the global warming issues out there. We've affected the ozone. We've used all the resources. Like Smith says, you just go to a place, multiply, use all the resources, then move somewhere else. It was clearly a nod to where the planet was going with the overpopulation. And we're dealing with that now. In this day and age, we've got too many people, too little resources. What's going to go on?
Yeah, that comment, skipping ahead a little bit, but we'll come back. The comment about that, he's right. I mean, we are classified as a virus. We move to an area, multiply, spread like a cancer. Then once everything's fucked up, you move on to another area, and that's what cancer is. That's what the diseases are, And it's like, it makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does. But he's been shown how to. With all the constructs and stuff like that, he gets to see what the Matrix is, what it's capable of, and how he has to accept that he can't go back, other than to go in and essentially play around in the video game, but then go back to the real world. He can't be integrated back into it. And I think Morpheus even says, if you could, would you want to?
And that's the question again I'm asking at that point, because he was sick on the floor, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I guess that was the last of the juice coming out from when he was in the pod and that. It's like the last bit of cough up from the Matrix, and literally he's like in denial stage, and that's that's where I am. I'm like, I don't live in this shithole, flowing on a hovercraft. I want to be, eating steak, And this is where Cypher comes in, because I was watching it again today, and I'm like, I really relate to this guy. I really understand. If you have to eat that shite every day, you have to run from agents. You can't go back in unless and I'm like, you'd do the same, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would. You're getting offered, like you say, juicy steak, or you can eat snot. That's essentially what they give them, a bowl full of snot.
Yeah.
With a bit of milk in it.
And
Tasty wheat. Maybe they got it wrong. You don't even know what tasty wheat is, mate. Okay, mouse. You don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And this is the thing, is that question, because they didn't make him a mustache. I'm gonna kill you all. I'm in league with the machines. I'm gonna fuck you up. They give him a character.
Yes.
I mean, they made him slightly rapey, a little bit in some ways, like, but it was based on he had affection for Trinity, so it wasn't like he was like, I love you, Trinity. It was literally, he was like scorned in a way. He was like wanting more from the relationship. He didn't get it, so that probably started the ball rolling. Really, he said 9 years, didn't he?
Oh, something like that, yeah.
Eating this goddamn goop every single day.
I want to know what that moonshine is that he made, because that looked like it was when he took a little shot of the old sneaky moonshine. It's like, what's in that? What's in that? Maybe it was a nice bottle of Heineken. Sorry,
Heineken doesn't give you that kick.
Fair enough.
Come on, I love Heineken, but stop being like that.
I'm sorry.
Heineken does not make you go, ooh, that's warmed me up for winter.
It doesn't.
it's nice to drink and it pacifies you, but it's
There you
not.
go.
It's not a kick like I don't know JD or whatever. It's not like
Well,
you go.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's yeah. It was whatever it is. It's clearly questionable about enjoying it. But
Didn't he say, "Oh, we either clean the drains with this, or we filter it slightly and give it you"? I can't remember.
It could have been some roller cola then.
Roller cola. I'm not drinking that. Send it to freaking Africa. I think what was it? Peter Kay said no. Oh no! People starving in Africa. Well, good. Send it to them then.
I wouldn't want me drains with it.
We are now. Have we seen the Oracle yet? We haven't gone to the Oracle, have we?
No, not yet. Not yet.
But having said that, Cypher, we obviously see him, logging in to go in there because he's dead jealous of Neo being there, but he relates to him too because he has that moment, doesn't he? Cypher and Neo late night, and Cypher's like, "What did he tell you? How do you feel about it?" And he doesn't mince his words. He doesn't want to be there.
Yeah, it's like so you're here to kind of save the world. I mean, what do you say to something like that? It's a lot of pressure. You've just been given the shocking realization that your whole life's been a lie, and now you've got to do something about it to save everybody. It's a lot to take.
I know, and you can tell that Cypher doesn't really want to kill anyone. He just wants to. When he weighs up the pros and cons, and he goes, right, it's either this forever, or going back in the Matrix, but sacrificing these people who have held me back.
Yeah,
these people don't mean anything to him because Trinity. He's obviously loved him for ages. Loved her for ages. And then literally, he's gone, right, she's gone now. Admit it, you love him, don't you? That's later on, though. You can so relate to his character, and I felt it more today, watching it back than ever. I do relate to his character.
Yeah, he wanted to just go back to an easy way of life. He didn't like where he was. He's been taken out thinking it's all better in the real world, and it's not. And he misses the enjoyment of life that he would have got by being in the Matrix. I mean, yeah, real world, yeah, it's real, but you don't have, fresh cut grass and steak all the time and sunsets and people to chat to. It's just a derelict wasteland where you're trying to survive, not being killed by machines. So of course you're going to want to go back in and just enjoy your days while you can.
And even when you do go back to the last human city, you're all sweaty, dancing with loads of people in a cave, and that's not for me. That I'd be always in the lockup.
No, I don't do festivals anyway. I wouldn't want to do that. No thanks.
There was one bit that stuck out in my mind because I was looking at it in with Neil's in the club scene, not dancing or anything. The conga was going past. He wasn't getting involved. and literally, I was looking for that nipple twister because there's someone who twists nipples in it, but it wasn't this one. That's in the third one.
Ouch.
Have you not seen that bit?
It's not something that resonates with me, but I don't recall it. But when I rediscover it, I'm sure I'll find it and comment on it.
Look at it when they go down to the basement club, with what's it? Trinity, Morpheus, and the guy. What's that cool guy who looks after the Oracle? What's his name?
I forget his name. But they go to see the Merovingians, don't they? So.
Yeah, because and they're in that club, and they're cool, and that spinny thing. Literally, when they go in, there's a woman getting her nipples played with.
Wow.
You not seen that?
Clearly not.
Mate, I zoned in on that. Literally, I was looking at the crowd, like, oh yeah. I seen it. They like this. Watch it, mate. Watch it. It's worth freeze framing.
I will look into that for sure.
But no wonder I was like, what, 17, 18 at the time? I can't remember what age it was, but I was impressed.
At that age, it's all about nipples, isn't it? At the end of the day.
It's all about nipples. But anyway, they made a deal. Hugo Weaving, Mr. Smith, and Cypher made a deal. He wants to be an actor. Why? He's like
somebody important. Yeah, he must be rich.
I'm an actor. Why? Just
I think when he was negotiating the terms of the deal, I think he does have an element of a conscience because he does say, "I don't want to remember anything. Okay, I don't remember anything at all. Nothing. I just want to be important and rich till my dying days. But he doesn't remember any of these people or the situations they've been in.
Yeah.
So I kind of get a bit of a conscience there, like, because he feels bad for what he's about to do, kind of thing. So
yeah, well, he says it at the end. He says because Mr. Smith goes, the codes for the mainframe, and he doesn't say it like that, but and literally he's like, no, I don't have them. All right, stop moaning about that. I'll get you the man who does. And when he says that, and Mr. Smith says Morpheus, literally he has this look. He's like, I'll get the man who has. And literally, it's all that. You can tell there's an element of doubt. He's like, I don't want to do this, but but I want this steak forever, you know. so it you can tell there's a character there that has just given up, and that's the last bit. When he commits to that, that's the last bit of humanity he's got left. You know, that's it. He's got rid of it, which is a shame, really. So and you have the gloop. You have that little gloop.
Yeah, the snot. Yeah.
Tasty wheat stuff.
Tasty wheat.
I don't even know what the fuck that is. It looks like porridge that's been watered down so much.
Yeah.
And then some like sawdust put in it.
You had me at sawdust, yummy.
Sold, signed, sealed, delivered. It's yours. and literally that mouse guy, he's so relatable because he's like horny all the time, isn't he?
Yeah, he designs the woman in the red dress that catches Neo's eye during the training exercise.
It would have been
like
Nicole Scherzinger or Gal Gadot.
I suppose. I mean, you know, in a modern day retelling, I guess they could cast one of them.
Literally, Morpheus would have been walking for miles talking to himself if it had been had been gone off with her.
And so I told her, Neo.
But they're outside the potentially. What the fuck are you? Hold on a minute.
Were you paying attention, or were you dropping trout for that woman in the red dress and he's pulling his pants back up? Sorry, Morpheus.
We should not have freed you. This is a mistake.
Yes.
But anyway, we're at the Oracle's house, and she lives in a shithole too. What's up with this place? Everyone lives in a shithole, don't they?
Well, yeah. You don't want to brag if you're part of the creation of the Matrix. You don't want to brag about being in a penthouse. You want to just be down with the little people, with the locals. You know.
I do appreciate she's making cookies. You know, for the locals.
There's a lot of time for cookies in this world. Yeah.
By the way, I do want to reenact something. By the way, because we did this on your podcast. You could be Neo. All right, here we go.
Okay.
Stop it! I'm getting me acting. I'm getting me acting. I'm getting me acting on. Right.
Okay.
Hang on.
That's better.
Do not try and bend the spoon. That's impossible. Stop laughing. Instead, try and realize the truth.
What truth?
There is no spoon, you cunt.
There is no spoon.
And then you'll see it is not the spoon that bends, it is only yourself, Dick. Take the spoon.
End scene. Ass.
Well, I put my own spin on it. Hope you liked it.
It's the more adult version. Yo, Neil, what's going on there, mother? Fluffer.
Did I try and bend the fucking spoon? I've told you before, that's impossible, you fucking twat.
Wow. Sorry, kids.
Something entered me there. But anyway, oh, God. I just had to...
Very smutty. Something entered them.
And it's shot right. But anyway, I had to reenact that because I love that scene so much because the kid, I don't know why he delivers it that way, but it's so... I remembered it from when I first watched it. Just him doing that and going... and then the spoon bending, like, and Neo doing it first time and being a cunt about it, like, look, did it? Years of training, eh? And he walks in and gets a cookie. Then and I'm like, the boy with the bricks is like, fuck this shit, But I just like that scene so much.
Yeah, it's good because it's showing all these people that are told that they could be the one that saves everyone. Hence, them all having certain abilities. It was a bit like a kind of the one X Factor, Oh, this guy can juggle bricks. This guy can bend spoons. This guy can fly. All these crazy things.
Yeah.
It's interesting that he had to go through a screening process just to be confirmed.
Yeah, and he jumped the queue as well because he went straight in.
Well, he was bigger than the other kids, though. I think that's only fair.
Yeah, it's because he was chatting up that lad, wasn't it? So get away from him. Well, obviously, they go in, and she tells him to knock over the vase, and then he knocks it over. Then she goes, "Oh, would you have knocked it over if she hadn't said
anything?" Yeah.
Well, maybe, I don't know, because you told me about it, so we'll never fucking know.
It's like if a tree falls down in a forest and no one's there, does it make a sound? We don't know because no one's there to listen to it.
Of course it does. Because it still makes a noise.
Yeah, but how do you know if no one's there to hear it?
It's an object that's falling and makes a noise.
Yeah, but only if someone's there to hear it. So how do you know it makes a noise if you can't hear it?
Because it does make the noise.
But again, if you can't hear it.
But that's not the point. That's not the point. It still makes the noise. My mum, right? She's not around right now, right, to hear this. It still happened.
Yeah, because I've just heard it and you've just heard it and the viewers have heard it. But if no one's around, how do we know? This is one of those things, you see. You don't know.
See, me and Jake have this thing about the chicken and the egg.
Yeah, that's a difficult one.
Yeah,
chickens lay eggs
and he's like, the egg. I was like, well, who laid the egg? He's like, well, the chicken. Which chicken?
It's hard. You'd have to get a DeLorean and go back to that first time when two animals did it and out came a chicken.
Yeah, knowing our luck, would drive over the fucking egg.
And erase chickens from existence.
Exactly, then we come home and there's no steak.
Oh, God, imagine. What are you having for our roast? What's a chicken? Never even heard of a chicken. What do you mean? Yeah, no, they've been extinct since the dinosaurs.
And there's no jokes about Liverpool saying chicken.
I want some chicken and a can of Coke.
Anyway,
best Scouse lesson ever.
Yes, we're skewed past the point now. So she said, and this is the one thing I noticed before, when she says, you're not the one, kid. Sorry, kid. And then he goes, he had me convinced. And then she went, maybe you're waiting for your next life. And that went over my head at first. But then I realized that point meant literally he's going to die. And he's going to wake up in a new life.
Because it's a subtle Easter egg planned. Yeah.
Well, it's not just the Easter egg. It's basically her knowing what the hell's going to happen, but she's telling him in a roundabout way.
Yeah.
That's going to happen, without influencing. Because this is the thing about the Oracle. She's not an Oracle. She's basically a planner. She's basically planning, sowing the seeds for the architect later on. There's a game between them both, isn't there? And so literally, she's not telling him what to do, because that would influence him. She's just nudging him slightly.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. Good way to look at it.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean, because it's the only time I've ever... Because, again, it's one of those things that you hear on a rewatch and you go, that little tiny little comment. It's like, wow, she really did know what's going to happen. It wasn't just like, maybe she knew, but she's just nudging him. She fucking knew. She could see it. It's like, oh, yeah, Mr. Smith said that, didn't he? He went, I know, I've seen it. You're going to die in a minute, and I'm going to fuck me. So, yeah, he's been to the Oracle, and bad news, you're not the one. Here's a cookie as a consolation. And literally, Morpheus, what's he smiling at? He's in the reception like this.
I don't know. Maybe he's thinking, oh, I've done it. I finally found him. I can stop getting crap off everybody now. I've done it.
What she said to you was for you and you alone. What did she say? Out of curiosity.
Imagine. What did she say? Go on, tell us what she said. It's like if you're you make a wish, but you can't tell anyone because it won't come true. I can't tell you what I wish for.
Yeah. I mean, oh come on. I mean, Morpheus was told he'll find the one. He believes he's found the one. So literally, he believes that completely. So that means that he has faith the fact that she said something to him that's one related. So breaking news, you're gonna do this, and obviously she's told him the opposite. So what's he smiling about? Does he believe that she said, "You're going to fuck that Smith. You're going to flow into him and blow him up from the inside"?
I don't know. We don't know what he's smiling about.
I don't know.
Maybe he let one go in the lift.
Yeah.
It was me, Neil. It was me.
I did notice that camera again in the doorknob.
Yeah.
I've never seen it before, obviously, because every time I see it, it's only quick, isn't it? When it focuses on the doorknob, he's like, I can only show you the door. You must walk through it. And then he goes to walk through it, and some knobhead opens the door and like, fucking let him walk through it.
Yes.
That's the one thing about the trailer, by the way. The Matrix Resurrection.
Action.
No, I'm not cutting that out. It's funny. The Matrix. Hang on. I have to go into my newsreader voice. The Matrix Resurrections live.
There you go.
I can't even do my own fucking voice. I have to do someone else's. The Matrix Resurrections in color is literally. She goes, "Come on, Neo. I'm going to show you the way." And she opens that big door with a light on it, and she walks through first. And I thought that must be a different scene then.
I've done that loads of times, like, especially the missus, like, I'll open a door and just jump in front. Psych, jump in front, I'm walking in first.
But in this universe, you're supposed to let the person walk through first because you're showing them the door.
Yes.
Ignorant bitch. But obviously, Cypher has screwed up the plan because to get back to the apartment, he's put his phone in a bin. And literally, that means the agents are tracking him, and then the cat walks across twice. I never quite got it as deja vu, though. It's a weird way to say it, because deja vu is usually something you've done before, but not in that context. Do you get me?
I get it a lot. Before we even started this chat, there was elements about it before we even started chatting that felt like we'd done it before. It was very surreal. Yeah.
Maybe we're stuck in this infinite loop of me and you talking about this movie.
Yeah, because we do chat Matrix quite a lot, and it's another Matrix chat, is it? Yes, it's like Groundhog Day for Matrix, but I love it.
Oh, by the way, Groundhog Day, we're going to do that at some point.
Oh yeah,
get it down in your diary. I want
like,
to do
it's like talking about the Matrix, like stuck in a loop, but I love it. Just talk about Groundhog Day.
Just a little bit of history repeating. But we're in the apartment now. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We're in the apartment. The cats walk past, and literally, that's all hell's breaking loose. I feel sorry for Mouse. Why
Don't,
the hell?
Because he went in a good way. Those guns looked amazing. Those two Tommy guns he had. Loved them.
Do you think he knew he was going to die in that moment? He was like, "Fuck it!" Ah!
Yeah, because it's kind of a typical kind of action ending for a hero. If he knows he's got only one way out and it's trying to fight through a load of guys, you're just going to go for it, aren't you? And you've noticed as well, whenever there's a scene, predominantly in an action film where there's guns based, and the protagonist or the hero is going to use guns, they always scream alongside the gun. It's never just shooting. It's always They never just shoot. They have to scream with the gun. Like that somehow emphasizes the pain or the anger. Screaming.
I think it's just for aesthetics, because when you're filming, it's like you can't just look like that because it doesn't look right. It doesn't look.
Yeah. Just go.
It just doesn't look right. It's like you don't give a shit. So literally, it's to emote that you're desperate and you're like, "Fuck you, you motherfucking bastard!" Well, obviously in his character, and literally he's like, "Fuck this, I'm going to go out fighting." And that's literally what he did. But Neo's upstairs going, "Oh, for fuck's sake, I wanted him to program me Nicole, you know." And
now he's got no pimp.
He's got no pimp now. He's lucky the Trinity came along not long after.
Yeah, he's very lucky.
He's very, very lucky. Morpheus doesn't have a bit of totty until the third. Really, does he?
No, he has an eye for Jada Pinkett Smith, doesn't he? So
yeah. And hang on, she doesn't cut her hair off in the end, does she? That's another character, isn't she?
That's
Some
she
some
still has
cuts hair.
the those kind of weird, like Craig David blobs of hair all over her head.
Yeah, I'm walking away from the matrix in my life. I'm walking away.
It would have been great if they said, like, how long have we got till the machines arrive? And she comes in and goes, 7 days.
They drill the hole on Tuesday.
Oh God, knocked the mic there. Nice.
Morpheus gave a speech on Friday.
See what Niobe sounds camp.
Anywho, back to the plot at hand,
Yes.
because we are skipping ahead, even though it's fictional. We're skipping ahead.
We're skipping ahead.
And literally, they're being chased. There's brick walls appearing in the windows, and literally, they're like, "Oh God, what do we do?" And there's a bit where he like, "Give me your phone cipher," and Sophie's like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And then Trinity goes like that. I'm like, "Fuck off, Trinity!" You know, you ruined the time where Morpheus could have spotted that. You know what I mean? Like, where's your phone? I don't know. I viewed it. You know, they could have avoided all that mess on the Nebuchadnezzar later on.
Yeah, very true. Very
Hang
true.
Oh, hang on, I can't do it on this one. I'm just going to open my bottle.
Oh, nice.
Hang on. Sorry. Cheers. So, literally, we're at the apartment. We're at the top. They're going down that dusty drywall bit. We don't have them in the UK, do we? We don't have like big gaping holes in our buildings.
I mean, I'm looking around now. Can't see any right now. But normally the landlords are quite good.
Americans who are watching this, why do you have big gaping holes between rooms?
This sounds so bad. Why do you have big gaping holes? Well, okay.
I've sucked all the glory out of those holes. But the thing is, you're shimmying down. You've got enough room to shimmy down. Is that true? What the hell's going on? Get big building codes of rubbish in the city.
Well, they are big buildings, so they have a lot of space to put all the piping down, you know, crevices and holes at the back of the walls and whatnot. This is down to architecture and industrial buildings.
Or is it like Lex Luthor? Lex Luthor says land. He's talking about land, isn't he? He likes his, you know, in Superman where he's going, what's the big American dream? You know, or what's worth more than gold or whatever? Land. Land is worth more. So literally in America, they've got so much land, they can just fill big buildings worth of gaps in them. Whereas in the UK, houses are so small. It's like
they are.
The boxes, aren't they?
I think people tend to forget that we are a very small island in comparison to a lot of the world. So yes, we are a lot of people in a small place, so we have to rely on small housing
and yet
to accommodate it.
And yet we're building more houses on Greenbelt.
Yeah. Anytime there's a patch of grass, we're going to put a house on it.
I know. I do like that. I do like that up your way.
Oh yeah. There's currently a development going on not far from where I live. It used to be a field, but now it's house. But you know, people need to live somewhere, so why not build a house?
Yeah, but hang on a minute. You live in a much denser populated area than I do. I live in a town which has just about got Greenbelt left. I live on the edge of Daresbury, and literally the whole area, the Greenbelt's being built on right now as we speak. And it's every time I look over it, I go, don't we deserve open space? You know what I mean? We've built enough.
I am quite lucky in respect that we have got quite a lot of greenery still that's going to be untouched. You know, we have parks to walk through and fields to walk through. And
well, I noticed that Jenny lives not far from nature, where her flat is. I'm going to go up in a couple of weeks. Well, actually, I might go up next week actually because I've got need to get the DVD you've got me as a gift. And obviously, I hate having someone else's property. I hate having it for too long. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
Just in case a tsunami wipes it out and they blame me. You know. So I'm gonna take it up and I'm gonna pick up your one as well. I may even pop up and say hello.
Well, I'll be sure to make sure I'm not home.
No, not home. Obviously in work. I'll come and chase you in work instead. Embarrass you.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be fun.
So anyway, the prophecy came true. Morpheus
Yes.
jumped out of the hole and grabbed Smith and said, take Neo, he's all that matters, and they fuck off and leave and get pummeled by a toilet seat. And then obviously they have to make the choice, don't they, whether to unplug Morpheus. This is skipping way ahead now, but to unplug Morpheus or to let him reveal what's going on, or there's a third option, which is Neo growing some balls.
Yes, he finally developed a set and decides, you know what? I reckon we can save him. Let's not pull the plug on him. And he's not going to give us up, although he's been interrogated and trying to get access to the remaining city for the humans and whatnot. He won't give us up. He won't buckle under torture. So while he's being tortured, we're going to go and get him.
Yeah. And literally, props to Carrie-Anne Moss and Trinity here, because she's not, what do you call it? She's not thingy. She's not the one.
No.
And neither is Neo at that point, to be honest, because she's not woken up in the reborn as the one. But they handled the whole thing, like killing agents, reception full of guards, like freeze behind pillars and that. And they both made mincemeat of it. And they're like, yeah, it's such a good scene, isn't it?
It is. That lobby scene is fantastic. Great soundtrack. So many bullets used. So many drywall destroyed. It's amazing. A good scene and a good amount of gunplay. Loved it. Mixed with the martial arts, it was good. Good to see. It really was.
Yeah, I agree. And literally, they don't overplay it. Every scene in this movie doesn't go on for too long. It sort of knows its limit and how long to play it out for, and then it sort of breathes and goes away. Oh, Daddy Longlegs just come in. Hello, Daddy Longlegs.
I do like though that intro to the lobby scene when the security guard, please burn the pot any keys or
any loose
phone, any loose change. And he just opens up his jacket full of guns. Holy shit! Get punched
again. That's the comedy of it.
Yeah,
they put the slight comedy in it, but doesn't deflect from the goal of telling the story, because this is the thing with the Terminator. They've gone too far into it comedy wise, and it takes away from the message of the film, which is no fate for women. And Matrix, they know where to set things, and obviously we lose track of it a little bit towards the middle and end of the trilogy. But in this movie, everything's perfectly run, and then they go up on the lift and say, "Hang on, there is no spoon." Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. He used the lessons learned by a young, bold kid to help him get up that elevator shaft without using his actual body, just bending the world around him. Yes. Yeah.
You're welcome, Neo. You're welcome. I was that bold kid.
There you go then.
I can exclusively reveal. It's easier for me to say that I am the bald kid in the living room of the Oracle. That's weird, isn't it? The living room of the Oracle. No, that's Orifice, isn't it? Anyway, leave it there. So literally, they've blown up the lobby. Smith, he did my favorite scene. I really wanted to show it on this, but I don't want to keep flicking back and forth. Literally, he's got him in a headlock, and it's not headlock. He's got his face like that, hasn't he? He's like, I hate it here. I hate it. I want to be free. And literally, that's the birth of that one, because I tend to believe that Agent Smith is the one as well, and so is Neo, and they're both opposite ends, and they keep smashing together. And that was the birth of his journey as the one.
I agree. If that realization of he wants to get out, he doesn't want to be stuck to being a program chasing after people who want to go rogue and escape. He wants to better his own program and experience things that he's not limited by. So he does want to get out.
And the only way you can do that is by getting Morpheus to fucking talk. Why you're not talking? Why is the serum not working? Leave us
now.
Takes the headpiece out, and Morpheus is like, "Oh shit!" He's bad enough.
He's took the glasses off. He's took the earpiece out. It's gonna get pretty real right now.
And literally, the eyebrows, and the eyes and the nostril it's all in that one look he gives him, like, and it's hard to do that. It's really hard to pull that off. Really good for Hugo Weaving to do that. It's something that not many people can do, and he's trying to be a machine too, so he's trying not to give too much emotion in it. So it's perfectly done.
Yeah, definitely.
And
Great
obviously we got the iconic scene then of the bullet time technology.
Yes, whilst on the rooftop of the building, yeah.
And obviously Trinity was technically the one to kill the agent first.
Yeah, well, Neo did his best at shooting the agent, but he was moving in such a way that he dodged all the bullets.
Yeah, he moved and he distracted the agent, and he was like, "Woo! Look at me! Bang!" So it worked. He did his job, but he didn't move fast enough. And then they did that thing with the program. You remember I said on the podcast, it's like, I don't know how to do this. Never mind that. Let's go.
Yeah, I can now fly a helicopter.
I can now do this. And I'm like, we were making a case, weren't we, against...
It needs to be happening. I'm telling you, I can't bother with 25 years of study to become a doctor. Just download it that quick.
Why do you want to be
I can now prescribe you drugs. Hey, great.
What? Why do you want to be a doctor for?
I don't. I just picked up a profession that takes a long time to become an expert at.
I want to learn to drive.
Well,
it'd be very handy. It'd be very handy if I could just go green cross code and it'd be all in there. You know what I mean? Rather than have to go sift through all this shite. Like, can you see a car coming down there?
Yeah. Well,
better thing to do.
Maybe by the time you get your license, they'll have invented, teleportation technology. You can just stand on a pad and beam there straight away.
Mate,
who knows?
I am predicting. Here's a new item on the show, which I call Stephen Predicts the Future.
Okay.
By the time I learn to drive, they'll ban cars.
Oh. How typical. I've achieved it. I can't drive anything.
Hooray! Well, not ban them. What they'll do is they'll say, right, you have to pay extra because you are polluting. Your carbon footprint is above 30 millijoules or whatever bollocks they make up. And then literally you cannot travel past a certain point with your social credit. So you've got this much a week and then you can't drive. So it's no point in driving.
Well.
So at least they achieved my license. That's all I can say.
Yeah, it's an achievement. It takes a lot of patience and training to become a driver.
Yeah,
and I'm thankful that I passed my test before the theory test even came out. So I'm very lucky in that respect. So
you're a dangerous driver?
No, I'm not a dangerous driver. I'm very much driving Miss Davy. That's what I am. I think if I was to retake my test now, I think it's pretty much a guarantee I'd fail. So
one thing they were saying in work. That he went to pass his test, but the problem was they gave him a markdown because someone pulled out of a red light in front of him, so he had to stop. But that's classed as hesitation, so that means he got a fail for it. I'm like, what? you literally did it right. What did you want you to do? Go into smack on collision? Oh, you passed, but you're dead.
Yeah.
What's the fucking point in that?
I remember having a mock test and it was almost over. It was about half an hour, something like that. And the last thing I did was go across a junction to an adjacent road, which I did. And then he said, I'm going to have to fail on that because you shouldn't have gone into that road. It was a one-way. But somebody had spray painted the entire sign black, so I didn't know what sign it was. So technically, I couldn't read the sign, but they still failed because I should have known by the shape of the sign what warning sign it meant. But because I didn't, you couldn't. It was just a black circle, spray painted black graffiti. Great.
Yeah,
but I should have known it meant no entry and not driven into it.
It could have been anything, though. That sign could have been anything. There's loads of triangle signs in there. There's loads of triangles.
Well, it's one of those things. It was only a mock test, but thankfully the real one went swimmingly. First time passed.
Well done. But you don't drive at the moment, do you?
Well, I've got a car. I just don't use it because I don't need it for work. So
because you cycle, don't you?
When the weather's nice, yes. If not, I get the bus. I tend to leave the car here for family use. My wife and kids need it more than I do. So,
I'm the same as you. I work and live not far from one another. But in the winter, when it's dark in the early evenings, it's not very good because there's gangs of lads in tunnels everywhere, smoking and doing all sorts. So anyway, we're finished on the rooftop. We are saving Morpheus, and the one thing I noticed before is that he's shooting that Arnold Schwarzenegger style gun, like in the window, and he's not aiming. He's like, and he's like, you're just killing Morpheus. Be careful.
Yeah, bullets going everywhere.
Yeah, it's like,
which looks really cool. Look with the colouring that they added to the water when the sprinklers went off. It made the water more visible. So when the bullets did hit, a lot of spray, and you could see that it looked legitimately like bullets were going everywhere. So yeah, it was
exactly, and it's all those little because again, you don't know these things as a filmmaker. They have to do so much to make that visible. Water's very difficult to make visible, and that's why it takes a lot of effort to make a film with water, like The Abyss, or like with the water in this, and the water when it was falling on the car in the beginning, where it was like a code. Like this in the background, it was like looking just like that with the lighting and the water. That's hard.
Yeah.
So it's really testament to the Wachowskis who put all that effort in to make that creative vision work, because it's only in their head, isn't it?
Exactly, from the minds of geniuses.
And now obviously he runs out, he jumps off into the helicopter. They say he's the one a few times in this. I've noticed. He's the one. No, maybe not. Oh, he's the one. Maybe we've made a mistake. Oh, it's the one. And literally it goes like that for a few times, doesn't it? And literally he's like, the Oracle, she was bullshitting me. Oh, no. She only told you what you needed to hear. But that's not what I wanted to hear. But you needed to hear it. Fuck off. But I love her. And literally, they go into the subway scene, which is a good scene. That poor homeless man.
Yeah, replaced by an agent. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel sorry for him because
I must admit, though, if I can just backtrack slightly with that rooftop scene, as he rescues Morpheus and Trinity goes down the helicopter and Morpheus says that line, he's beginning to believe. It's like, oh, okay, now it's hit. Okay, now it's all going to happen.
That's a subway scene,
the mentality. No, yeah, sorry, it is. My apologies, it is. But
he does that turn.
It's when he watches him with the helicopter, he knows. That's when he says he is the one, like you said. But it's the realization that as he's lifting Trinity up from a helicopter, just thrown into a building with a great sequence.
Yeah,
they know he's
really
capable
well
of doing so much more. I should say, so much more.
Well, it's the faith, because again, when he was doing a jump simulation earlier on in the film, he was like looking down, going, "Ookie dookie, let's do this jump."
Yeah.
And he's like, you could tell he was still, and now he's by faith going, right, I'm going to hold on to his rope, not knowing whether I'm going to be pulled off the ledge with the helicopter, just in case. And that's faith in himself and Trinity that only comes with total belief in yourself.
Yeah,
which is what Morpheus meant, really. I'm going to go to the toilet. Hang on a minute.
Okay.
He's fucking.
So he's left the room now, and this is the part where I take over while he's currently relieving himself in the facilities. So, as a gap filler, this will get cut out. I'm hoping it gets cut out, but clearly this movie has been very influential. We've talked about it, Steve and I, quite a lot. Various formats, both YouTubing and via podcasts, and just general chit-chats just on the phone and stuff. It's a really influential film, like I said. It's been a major part of our lives, or certainly my life. But I think when it comes to the new one, Resurrection, it's going to be one of those films where I'm apprehensive, but I'm excited. I'm hoping it's going to be a great movie, but I'm also hesitant because a fourth installment in a series can sometimes be overkill. So I guess we're going to have to wait and see what comes of it, and hopefully good things. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? And I think he's back now, so he's shook it. So I think he's back. Yes. Hi.
I did shake it a little bit. I masturbated a little bit too.
Good. The gap filler I've just provided, you don't need to keep it in. I would advise you to cut that out.
Oh, yes. No. Oh, I can't wait to see this now. See, it works both ways.
Dead professional. I did.
It works both ways, motherfucker. I'll just keep it in. I want to see what your naughty side.
It was not naughty. I literally went dead professional and just talking about Matrix.
Oh yeah, sure you did. I didn't wash my hands either. But no one here. I'm in a glitch. So anyway, is there anything you want to talk about before we go to the rest of it? I know I skipped ahead slightly.
No, it's been key scenes that have been mentioned. I think we've had a good pace.
Okay.
We've mentioned the main scenes, the main actors, and the sequences that stand out. So yeah, it's getting to the climactic part of the movie now, I suppose.
I love the climax. But what we
do.
but what we do is we'll start from this point on now. So we are in a subway. Morpheus goes first. You go first, Morpheus.
Yeah,
right.
He gets out.
And then literally, he put the phone down. And this is what annoys me every time. Trinity goes, Neo, I've got to tell you something. Bring. Yes. Bring. It's something I don't want to say. Bring. Fucking tell me later when we're in safety. Tell me then.
Answer the phone.
You get the fuck out. Then I can get the fuck out, and then you can tell me on the Nebuchadnezzar. All right. Not wait until an agent fucks the phone up, and then I have to fight for my life.
Yes. Always the way.
Really bugs me that bit, because she doesn't say fuck all. She always goes, I don't want to tell you, but I have to tell you. But maybe I should tell you. And then she goes in anyway and answers the phone. And then does that thing she does.
Yeah, just like in the opening sequences, she gets into the phone box, does the hand, and then it gets destroyed by a big truck. But she gets out.
Which was also Smith.
Yes, correct.
See, I know these things. It was Smith.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
He got out the truck, and then obviously Smith the one, Mr. Anderson.
Yes.
And I love that when he says that. If he's like I said to you before on the thingy, if he says that once in the Resurrections, I'll come in my boxes. If I hear it, and you'll be sat right next to it.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and literally the fight scene that ensues after that, because we have bullet time again. You have that image where they're like, it's that thing. It's attention to detail where they're sort of slowly getting the gun towards their head.
Yeah,
as the bullets are flying. Perfect.
Well, it's that
isn't it?
They obviously know a lot of each other, and when they both run out of bullets, and Smith goes, "You're empty," and Neo goes, "So are you." Like they know how many bullets they've got.
Well, but
so
it's
you have to go line punching.
This is why Eastern and Western culture is combining, because again it's that thing of yin and yang. Smith and Neo, opposites of the same coin, and they've clashed.
Well, it played out a bit like a Western, didn't it? Because when they have that, before they pull the guns out, you have that like gust of wind and a piece of newspaper blows past. It was like watching gunfights at the OK Corral or something like that.
Yeah, and Jake said, "Oh, why are they always clicking?" Because he's like clicking his knuckles and clicking his neck. Yeah. He's like, "Ooh, that's so awful." It's like, stop being a wimp.
That's just how people look hard. Just like getting all tense. And
I can't do that.
Yeah, I can't. I only creak now because I'm old, not because I'm forcing it to do it.
Yeah,
my knees twinge.
My wrists do it, but that's not hard enough, is it?
Well, that's for another podcast episode. That one. My wrist does it, but it's not that hard. Oh, okay.
Join us next time for lubrication of the wrists with Davey A.
Wow.
I'll give that.
Sounds like a winning title.
It's a spin-off show. I could do a spin-off show to your podcast called.
I'd give that 10 seconds.
Stevie, I'll give that 20 minutes.
That's a long time. That's got to include foreplay as well. Jeez.
Oh no, I'm not talking about foreplay. I'm just talking about me on my own.
Fair enough.
All right, so Neo and Smith, they're going, huh, 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 and they're doing that. I love that move that Neo does. He goes
on the throat, yeah.
And you wouldn't think that would affect the machine, but it does.
It does. Yeah, that right on the Adam's apple, right there.
Maybe it's because obviously he's part of the system, so the rules of the system are if you're in a human persona, that'll work, But have you ever played the game Gang Beasts?
Never heard of it. Do tell.
Yeah. Oh, it's not worth telling, but I'll
Oh.
tell you anyway. Literally, it's like it's a kiddie game, but it's sort of like adults play it. It's you fight to the death, but
Okay.
you basically floppy balloon creatures,
Oh,
and
right.
literally you're fighting on a building, on a scaffold, on a blimp, on a lighthouse, on a lift. And there's this scene where you're fighting on a railway track, a subway station. It
Yeah.
looks just like the Matrix. And
Wow.
Jake was saying to me, "Oh, it's Gang Beasts." I went, "No, it's not. It's cool. Stop it." It's actually loads of balloons doing this. And literally, it plays out like the game because you can throw them onto the railway track to get run over.
Wow. Interesting.
So there you
Give
are.
it a
If you,
look-see.
if you know the game, then you'll be laughing right now.
Give that a whirl.
It's true.
Yeah.
So again, another thing I've said this to you before about death, about Neo and Smith. They seem to dance with death a lot. And in this scene, you see him like holding him as the train's coming down that tunnel. It's like a metaphor for light at the end of the tunnel. You're going to die.
Yeah.
And literally, Neo is sort of cheating death by flinging Smith up in the air, and he dies. And then that's a recurring theme in the next film as well, where literally feels like, and then it goes through to the end as well, where he's accepting death. When Smith, spoilers, when Smith does that at the end, with the fist, and it's that attention to detail that I really like about the story, because it's so in character, because Smith died, literally died in this film, and he has to live with that for the rest of the run, cheating it until Smith ultimately gets his way.
He, like you said, with the whole Smith gets killed, but then he comes back straight away on the subway. He's taken over someone else's body. He's got an infinite number of people in the Matrix who can become an agent. Like Morpheus said way back in the film during the training programs, it means anyone who isn't unplugged is potentially an agent.
They're not ready to come out, so they're part of the system.
So death is constantly after him. Someone's always after him. He's not safe anywhere. Escaping is the only thing they can do. They've survived by running, like they said, and hiding and all that kind of stuff. But don't stand and fight, which is why when they started fighting, and as I incorrectly quoted before, it's at that scene where Morpheus says he's beginning to believe, because now he knows he can fight, he can stand for himself, and he can help. So death's always after them. And no matter where they go, it's chasing them constantly.
Again, a metaphor for life in general, because you have to face your past. You have to face the consequences of your actions. You have to fight your way through life, and then once you've fought your way through a problem, you ascend. You become better.
Yes.
And then towards the end, you're standing tall, high and mighty, and it's the good metaphor of the film, really, because I like the fact that it doesn't come easy to Neo. It's not something that he's perceiving, because literally, even when he believes he's the one, he's still not the one.
Yeah,
it only takes that experience in the hallway where he's shot, out of the blue, because the audience doesn't know that's going to happen. They just believe he's the one who's going to survive that. Okay, and he gets shot. Do you know what I mean?
He does,
and that's a tough pill to swallow, because you're like, what? We've just convinced he's the one because he can do all these weird stuff. But then again, there's the Jesus Christ analogy.
Yeah, coming back, resurrection, all that kind of stuff.
It's all the religious connotations where it's like he's risen from the dead and he's now able to control life, and then obviously we find he's a new man, risen from death.
When you see his vision of seeing everything in Matrix Code when the three agents are looking at him, it's a bit of a goosebump moment. It's like, oh, so that's what he's seeing now. He sees
a revelation.
Code.
Like
because when you go, because when you go back to when he's having that chat with Cypher and he's looking at the three screens, he says, "Oh, I'm just so used to it now. I don't really see the Matrix anymore. I just see blonde, brunette, redhead." He's perceiving something else. I mean, I've often wondered when you have the operators, when they're saying, "Oh, you should have seen such and such doing this." What are they seeing on screen? We just see this Matrix Code, but they're seeing all these scenes and
I never got that, because then when he's doing the training program, Mouse looks at a screen that they can see.
Yeah, But everyone
So
else is looking at screens with codes on it. I don't
exactly.
get it.
So they must see something, but obviously it's glitching a little bit like our stream.
Yeah.
So it's glitching. So it's not perfect, but I can't see them looking at this code all the fucking day going, oh, I can see he's got a foreskin instead of. There's no detail in that code. It's only Neo that can work out because he can see it all the time. It's like in the third film when he can see that in real life as well as in the Matrix itself. You can see the code and they can change it to his will.
Yeah.
And I love that scene because it's that triumphant moment that the character. You talk about character arcs, beginning, middle, and end. We start from a position where he's bored in a cubicle. The most exciting thing that's ever happened to him is someone may have a white rabbit tattoo on it. And literally, he goes from that, scared, vulnerable, to like, ha! I'm going to fuck you up, in a hallway. And it's that thing. And he has literally, he trained all that time with Morpheus. And you could see how he couldn't even beat Morpheus at the beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
And suddenly, and obviously we've seen him just fight Smith, barely getting out alive, and suddenly he's just doing that
because he's been reinvented as the one with all this knowledge.
Exactly, the code's activated in it. The code is activated in his system, and he's now fulfilled as a human. It's such a good message, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. All that training, you can become amazing.
So when it got to the end of the movie. What did you think of the overall message of the film? Because obviously at the end he goes, I'm going to show them what you want. I'm going to show them what you don't want them to see. A world without borders, without rules, without restrictions. And there's a message to be extrapolated from that into the outside world, which is that, left alone, society could be happy.
Yeah.
Do you get me?
I do. I mean, I feel like he's saying, like when he's being interrogated, he's flipping the bird to say, we don't need controlling. If you're going to bring in control and stop us doing certain things, we're going to want to do those certain things. Let us be free. Let us do what we want. Let's contribute to society in a good, positive way, not be told we can't do this because you must do it our way.
Yeah.
And seeing him take off at the end, that was like a little final reward for all the people that stayed to watch the movie. You see him take flight. He's kind of like a digital Superman
because he can do whatever he likes. He can literally do it, and this is why this universe. I said to you, I was worried about the newer one. It's a product of its time. Maybe leave it where it was, but it does it justice in the new world as well, because all that stuff you can do is limitless. You can do anything. If you're the one, you can do anything you like in this universe.
Yeah.
As long as you, but then again, when you get to the architect, there was a circle, which we'll talk about. Spoilers. We'll talk about this in the next one.
Yes.
The next bit. I might dress up for that. I know. Would you want to get smashed with me on Halloween? Not physically here, but
well, like smashing the back doors and kind of thing. I don't think so, somehow.
No. I'm doing a live stream on the 29th. It's my turn to do a live stream, so I'm gonna get smashed. Loads of beers. I'm gonna dress up in costume as I don't know. I may do the poltergeist. I'm not too sure yet. That guy. You know that guy in the poltergeist.
I know the guy. The guy that's modelled on you goes
exactly. I might dress up as him for the stream and just get loads of people on and get smashed with some vodka or some beer.
I mean, it depends on what it falls on. Obviously, I've got to consider things like having children with me and being in work the following day. These are all factors. These are all contributing factors. I can't ride a bike with a hangover. I really can't.
Take the red pill.
Okay. That's how easy it was.
It's on a Friday, isn't it? Are you in work on a Saturday?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame. So that means you can only have like
two,
but
maybe three.
Mate, you're hoot without drink. So
thank you very much.
Have a couple of drinks and then have a laugh. Yeah. Watch me get drunk.
I dare say I'll be available. Is it going to fall on actual Halloween evening? Is it?
No. It's a Friday 29th.
Oh yeah, well I'll be fine. I was going to say I will be out. Oh yeah, because it's on a Sunday, isn't it? Yeah, because I'm going out in the afternoon/early evening with the kiddies,
Yes,
trick or treating, because
same here.
I'm sourcing an adult Halloween costume of a ghost.
Why not? Why just get a sheet?
Oh yeah, you could get a sheet, cut holes in it, but I mean, I don't know. I'll do something, but yeah,
Yeah.
I can partake in that
It'd
definitely.
be
I
a
can be
partake in
involved.
that. It's only because I'm like any excuse to dress up. You know, I love
Yeah,
dressing up. So we'll.
I will definitely partake. I'll find something horror related and
It doesn't have to
be
be
involved in
like
that one.
flamboyant. You can do anything that sort of like fits in with your demeanor. Something that's
I mean,
cool.
I could wear this. This is quite scary.
Not to me. I'm not scared, and I'm easily scared.
I don't know, maybe some dripping blood,
You,
or
you, you could you could dress up as Neo or Morpheus.
it's a horror special. You can't be dressing up as Neo or Morpheus.
Well, that's true.
You need to
Maybe
dress up as something scary, like dress up as a career in retail.
let's get on to it. So, okay, we're at the end. Neo's flying up, flying away. All's good. Matrix 1. Did you ever anticipate there would be a sequel?
No, because as a standalone film, it gives you everything you want. You get a great start and a great middle, a great end. It ends well. You're left to think, you know what? He's going to do his own bit to recreate the Matrix and give people the opportunity to be free or not. And he's aspired to be better. We've seen the whole journey from start to finish, and it's left as a standalone film enough. Yes, the sequels are welcomed, and there are some great characters in there, great sequences, and great additional storylines. But I'd happily just take the Matrix and be fine with that. If they were all whitewashed and became like non-canon anymore, I wouldn't have an issue with it because everything I needed was in that first film.
Well, I don't know about I don't know about wiping. I mean, to me, I agree. I watched it today, and I thought to myself, if this was the end of the trilogy, if it was just one film, I'd be completely happy. There's no loose ends. It's ambiguous. It leaves it open to comics. It does all that. You can do anything you like. I think the sequels expand on it pretty well, but it loses it. It loses it.
Yeah.
It loses the mainstream audience. It goes to niche audiences instead, which is not why it became popular. Which is a shame, but we'll get into that in the next one, because I do have a real soft spot for Reloaded.
It is a good movie. I do enjoy watching it. I just don't enjoy it as much as the first film, but
Exactly.
it is still a good film.
Yeah, because I do look at the cover of The Matrix, the first one, and go, right, that is definitely something that goes on its own. If you could destroy the rest, that'd be stand up on its own. Lovely. You could see the rest of it happening in your head. But I'm conscious of the time now. It's been nearly 2 hours.
We have ranted for quite some time, sir.
Obviously, it might not be 2 hours by the time I edit it. It might be about
of course.
an
But
hour
a substantial
45.
amount. A substantial amount.
But Matrix 1, what out of 10 will you give this film?
I'll turn the dial up to 11. It's 10. It's 10. It's 10.
System failure. System failure.
It's up there. It's one of the greatest films, in my opinion, of all time. I thoroughly enjoyed The Matrix. I've never ever watched it and thought, okay, been there, done that, I've seen it. No, every time I watch it, thoroughly enjoy it. Yeah. Always gripped by it. Still amazed by it now. It's a 10 from me. It's a 10 from me.
So you've downgraded it now. It was 11.
Well, I can't go to 11 because it causes a glitch in the Matrix. So I'll just go back to 10.
You're the one.
Oh, in that case, I'm having an 11 then. What the hell? Sure, why not? It's even better than perfect. What the hell? Up to 11. There you go.
All right, so I'm going to give it 10. Yeah. Because I play it safe because I've got to work with a laptop and that. No, because again, like you say, it was a film that is still talked about right now as a reference to philosophical debate. It's something that culture can't get away from.
Yeah, exactly.
Hence why they're making the fourth, because it's still relevant.
Yeah.
So I watching it back today, it gave me that feeling of, we really wish there was groundbreaking movies like this. I know we say this for every decade, but every so often one comes along and you go, that is it for this decade. That's the film of the decade.
Yeah.
And I don't know any this so far this decade. What are we on now? Is it 2021 now?
Yes, you haven't been asleep for that long.
No, it's only because I don't even know what year it is half the time. We only just started the decade, so who knows? But yeah, Davey, it's been a pleasure.
Sir. It's been always a pleasure. Never a chore. And it's always nice to be a guest. Yes, I do my own thing, but coming on as a guest, it's always a pleasure. I'm happy to be asked. So yeah.
Yeah, where can people find you?
Those of you who already know me, you can just search for me under Davey A 10 Mins on all the socials. You'll find me. If you go onto Spotify, Anchor, Castbox, and various other podcast outlets, just search for I'd Give That 10 Minutes and you'll find me under there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And obviously your YouTube, you're sort of growing.
I'm growing, yeah.
At your own pace. You're not someone who is. Even I'm not really, but I take it more seriously than you do. You tend to sort of like, go with the flow, see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm not being worked from behind, so I do it at my own pace. I'm not working for somebody else. Although you are pushing me, which is good. It's nice to have a healthy person say, "Come on, you can do better. Go." I like you say, I'm doing it at my own pace. So I'm doing YouTube as and when, but certainly the mainstream for me is the podcast. And
you know what it is with me. You know what it is with me. I when I see potential in someone, I really want them to milk it as best you can, and I think you're a better broadcaster than me.
Well, thank you very much.
You've definitely got the ability to supersede me and then triple that. It just depends on your angle and your focus. You've got a lot to talk about, and I just want the audiences to find you and notice that. So if you're watching this on my side, go straight to Davey A now, subscribe to him and give him all the love in the world because he deserves it. And then obviously go to Spotify and all that nonsense with the podcasts and that. I've been meaning to do that. I've been meaning to do that as well with podcasting, but it's the time.
It's great. It's a great way to soak up knowledge, listen to something new, discover, a book, a comedy, a film, a chat about a random subject. You'll find so many things out there via podcast that you would not normally think about listening to. Commuting, especially to and from work, stick a podcast on. It's a great way to kill some time. And
is this going on? Because obviously, if you're watching this now, this is going on my channel and Davey's channel, where we're going to collaborate more on not just the Matrix, but we're going to collaborate a lot on other things. And some of that
about the collab.
Oh yeah. No pills up our ass. So basically, literally, this is going to be made into podcast form. So if you're listening on podcast, hello, we're coming in your ears. Hope you've had an entertaining evening or afternoon. Depends when you're listening, really. And hope you've enjoyed the show. Like and subscribe to both of me and Davey. And we'll be back in a couple of weeks' time for The Matrix Reloaded. Yes, we will. Which is a fucking... Sorry for swearing, but it's an amazing film. I like Matrix Reloaded. I don't know what it is about it. Damn it. It gets me every time. But, Davey, it's been a pleasure. It has. Thanks for having me. And take care, everyone. Right, thanks for spending your time with me. Pleasure. No problem at all. Take care now and stick around for a minute. See you in a bit, man. Bye-bye. Bye.